This is America's Wild West. Dry and harsh, the desolation of Arizona is unforgiving. The saguaro cactus thrives here. A giant of the desert, it can live for 200 years.
And all I want to do now is sustain this. I want him to just keep loping.
It's a tough breed that makes the desert home.
I haven't met a horse I didn't like, you know. I mean, they're usually, if they've got problems, it's people problems, but the horses themselves, they are always willing.
The horses are as much a part of this land as the cowboys that ride them. And here on this ranch, they're being used in a most unusual way as part of a university degree in medicine, teaching young students how to become good doctors.
Put your face down on the ground with the jacket up over her head.
A gunshot victim is rushed into the emergency room of a city hospital.
Start CPR. I've got no pulse. Get the thing, let's go.
It's a scene repeated across America. Young doctors pushed to their limits. They lose this patient, but another victim's already on his way. The hours are long and the pressure is intense, and it's turning doctors into machines, their human side switched off. Dr. Alan Hamilton knows that feeling.
I think I was just as guilty as anybody else.
A renowned neurosurgeon, Dr. Hamilton now heads the Department of Surgery at the University of Arizona.
I'm saying, how did we start off with people who were so willing and so caring and end up with people who just seem so hassled and stressed and cynical and pessimistic? What I'd like you to do for me is I'd like for you to touch your finger to your lips, but don't put it all...
As well as lecturing, Dr. Hamilton also sees patients and often takes his students with him.
Okay, so you notice one of the things that's characteristic is I can often...
Anne Van Auken is suffering from extreme tremors.
I want you to hold your elbow out for me, and then I want you to tap with this hand on your knee.
She shakes so badly, she's contemplating brain surgery to try to fix it.
I would like that very much. I think I want to have it.
Mm-hmm. I think you're a good candidate. You'll have a good result. Very, very likely you'll have a good result.
This isn't an easy decision, but Dr. Hamilton makes her feel comfortable. It's no surprise. Anne has heard of his reputation. Around these parts, Dr. Hamilton is the horse whisperer. The whisperer uses few spoken words. Instead, his touch, his stare, his body yields a response.
We all have a great deal of respect for the horse, but here we are taking care of human beings, and we're sort of just rushing in and out of their rooms, coming in uninvited, talking amongst ourselves. So we just started saying, you know, why would we behave one way with a horse and another way with the patient? And
I got him from the Humane Society. Friend of mine.
He healed abused horses by being patient and gentle, and wondered if medical students could win the trust of their patients the same way.
It took about 6 months till we could actually, that he was willing to let us lead him in and out of his stall. You can get Mato, Ace, or Sonny, and pick up 2 of the geldings, I don't care which 2, and we'll use Hannah, because I think there's 6 of you tonight. Okay?
They're out there.
They're out there.
Oh.
They're the big things with the 4 legs.
You know that this horse is really, have you noticed him, have you worked with him before, and you'll just be with him and he'll lay down?
Sydney Lazarus is like many of the students who take this rather unconventional class, intimidated and a little surprised she's even here.
They're extremely large. They're just overwhelming. I'm kind of tiny, and they just seem so huge.
Okay, as soon as he takes a step out, yep, perfect. Just perfect. Change the game.
But she's learning something she won't find in the textbooks.
I've learned a lot about how my skills are in dealing with patients as far as my own determination, how I hold and carry myself, and see how they respond to that.
I want for him to yield it. There. There we go. See how he calms down right there? And he softens, his neck comes down? That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to say to him, that's exactly what I wanted.
Dr. Hamilton tells them how a simple turn of the head or a gentle word of encouragement can turn student and horse into partners.
First 2 feet belong to the horse. Let him choose. Let him choose. Good, Sydney. There. Okay. What's happened? I'm bottled up.
He doesn't want to go anymore.
Okay, so we're going to ask him. We're going to say, I can support you. No, we're not going to. We're going to make him, let him choose it, right? We're going to let him choose it. We're going to say, come on, we can choose it. Now, can I hold him back? I can't hold a 1,000-pound horse back.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is say, I can support him with my energy. They're right there. Okay?
Okay then.
It's not abstract. It's not symbolic. It's not a cognitive thing. It's a real visceral body experience. And then you go, oh, now I got it. That's what that feels like.
It's the horse that lends itself so perfectly to this experiment.
You have this animal that's exquisitely tuned to nuances of body language and body posture and the amount of effort or force that you're projecting out of yourself. So that's how they live every day, and of course we don't. There's the smile, there's the glance. That was an entree.
For the students, it's a challenge translating what they've learnt on the ranch to their patients.
Say, okay, now I can open up that wedge and bring her into it.
They watch the results on video.
And it's like a horse. You got them in your tractor beams now. That's very nice, Sydney. She's very easy to sustain, but she's also easy to distract. So I want you to feel confident and roll through it. Okay?
These students don't pay for this horse class. There are no marks. It doesn't count towards their degree. But when they're back in their more traditional surroundings...
So this is the external view. This is the internal view, the pelvic view.
They're convinced it will pay off. It has to. This year, for the first time in 4 decades, medical students will face a nationwide test of their patient communication skills before being able to practice as doctors.
What attaches to D then, if the cur attached to C?
Okay, relax. Relax. It's as if you have a bubble around you and he's got a bubble around him. Don't pull him, just come.
The next day, I'm back at the ranch. Dr. Hamilton's agreed to give me a private lesson
Let him build up some speed. It's good for him.
to prove this concept's not as vague as it looks.
People say, well, how do you do that? How do you do it? You just feel it. You practice it until you can feel it. There's nothing magical about it. And then what I'm going to ask you to do, okay, is come across now 180 degrees. Right like this. Okay, hold it. Now drop your, and look down at the ground. Look down, look down, look down. Look down, look down. Now walk away a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, there he is. Okay,
The energy, it seems, is within me.
Do you think of yourself as a horse whisperer?
I don't think it's not really horse whispering. It's kind of horse talking.
Sydney knows she has years of study ahead to enter a profession where the learning never ends, but she considers herself one of the lucky ones to have spent time talking to the horses.
Well, I think it's imperative because if you don't believe or feel comfortable with your provider, how will you feel about your course of therapy or your health care if you're not communicating well with that person in many regards? How do you know that you're being heard?
And with her brain surgery not far away, Anne is glad Dr. Hamilton is trying to change the status quo.
He's loving and he's gentle. And he does. He shakes your hand and he gives you a hug and does all those things that make you feel comfortable.
And Alan Hamilton dreams of a time when it's not just students, but doctors who are taking his class and putting the caring, not just the curing, back into medicine.
Okay, so we're going to ask. I can support you. No, we're not going to. We're going to make him let him. Right? We're going to let him choose it. We're going to say, come on.